Rick Grimes, a lawman turned leader, a father turned soldier, and Michonne Hawthorne, a mother broken by loss, reshaped by steel. Each carved their story into a world that had stopped caring, a world where the dead walked. And in the end, it was not the world that claimed them, but something older. As the dead began to walk, Rick Grimes lay unaware, trapped in a hospital bed, caught between life and death. A bullet wound sustained in the line of duty had left him in a coma, suspended in time, while the world unraveled outside. Days turned into weeks. Outside, order crumbled. Sirens faded into silence. Families fled. Cities fell. And then Rick awoke not to morning light, but to silence. The sterile smell of a hospital room. Empty corridors. No nurses, no family. Just a door. And beyond it, a world transformed by death. He was once a sheriff's deputy, bound by law and duty. But law no longer mattered. Cities burned. Civilization collapsed. Rick's journey began with one goal: to find his wife Laurie and their son Carl. He did, but what followed was not a happy reunion, but a slow descent into something terrible. He fought for survival alongside a small group of strangers, which quickly became family. With each step, with every new shelter, Rick lost something: friends, trust, innocence. Shane, his best friend, became a threat. Laurie died giving birth to Judith. His son Carl would grow into a man, long before childhood ever had a chance. From the forests surrounding Herschel's farm to the cold steel of a prison, Rick became more than a survivor. He became a leader, a symbol of resolve. But with every victory, the world took more, and it was never the walkers that did the worst of it. It was always the living. Woodbury, the governor, Terminus, the saviors. Names carved into Rick's soul like fresh wounds. And Michonne, before the world ended, she was a mother, a partner. She smiled once, laughed, loved. But that was before the dead took everything. Her son Andre, gone. Her partner Mike, turned. When she returned from a supply run to find only corpses and blood, something inside Michonne broke. She didn't scream, she didn't cry. She severed the arms and jaws of the two walkers who were once Mike and his friend, chained them, and walked into the world like a ghost of who she used to be. For a long time, Michonne trusted no one. Her blade spoke louder than words. But when she crossed paths with Rick and his people, a quiet transformation began. It wasn't trust, not yet, but something close, a cautious understanding. At first, Rick was a reluctant ally, then a friend, then more. They fought together, survived together, loved. Through every new home that turned to ash, every new face that didn't live to see tomorrow, Michonne remained, steady and sharp. She raised Judith as her own, watched Carl grow, protected those she loved with unwavering conviction. And yet, even among ashes, Rick and Michonne found something like peace. In Alexandria, a walled community clinging to the memory of the old world, they dared to hope. Together, they built something fragile, something real, but peace was never meant to last. When a massive herd of walkers threatened Alexandria, Rick did what he always did. He ran toward the danger. Alone, bleeding, desperate, he led them to a bridge. Explosives, fire, the sound of the earth itself cracking open. Thrown to the ground, Rick lay broken, and as black fog rolled over him, he heard her voice, Michonne, calling, reaching, but it wasn't her hand that found his, only the fog. And when Rick vanished on that bridge, swallowed in fire and fog, something inside Michonne shattered again. But this time, she didn't break. She carried on, for Judith, for the community, for Rick. Years passed, but the ache never faded. One day, she heard something. A voice, his voice, weak, distant, coming from the tree line. She followed it, through brush, through darkness, into a burrow that wound deeper and tighter until her sword could go no further. So she let it go and crawled forward. A light, faint, not the sun, not salvation, a campfire. She stepped out into a place where time meant nothing, where the air trembled with dread. Rick and Michonne, torn from two ends of the same story, two halves of a broken world, each drawn in by memories, by love, by the ghost of who they used to be. Now, in the fog, the story continues, not as leaders, not as warriors, but as playthings of a force they cannot understand, a world more twisted than the one they left behind. Enter the portal, remain in the fog.